In today's video, I am going to teach you how to group rows in Smartsheet. Grouping rows is a helpful way to keep your sheet organized, especially when you have sections of related information. Instead of scrolling through a long list and losing track of where one topic ends and another begins, you can group rows so they behave like a single section. This can make your sheet easier to read and easier to manage, whether you are working on a project timeline, a task log, or any structured set of data. To get started, first you need to select the rows you want to group. Take a moment to look at your sheet and identify the rows that belong together. For example, these might be all the tasks related to one phase of a project, or all the entries that share the same category. When you are ready, click and highlight the rows you want to include in the group. Make sure you have selected exactly the rows that should be part of that section. It is important to get the selection right here because the group will be created based on what you highlight. Once you have the rows selected, you are ready for the next action. This part is where Smartsheet applies the grouping behavior to your chosen rows. With your rows still highlighted, move your attention to the top toolbar. Look for the indent icon, which is the right arrow symbol. This is the control you use to shift the selected rows into a grouped layout. Now click the indent icon with the right arrow. As soon as you do, you should notice that the selected rows move to the right and become visually grouped under the appropriate section level. This indentation is what indicates that those rows belong together. If your sheet is using a multi-level structure, you may also see that the grouped rows are now nested under a parent row, making the hierarchy clearer. After you indent the rows, take a quick second to confirm the result. Verify that the grouped rows appear where you expect them to appear. Pay attention to the spacing and the indentation level, because this is what communicates the grouping in Smartsheet. If you grouped the wrong set of rows, you can simply adjust by selecting the correct rows and using the grouping action again. It is also a good idea to think about why you are grouping. When rows are grouped, it becomes easier to scan the sheet and focus on the structure of your data. You can quickly understand what section you are in, and you can reduce clutter by turning your attention to one grouped area at a time. This is especially useful in large sheets where many items are listed in sequence. At this point, you have completed the core process, selecting the rows you want to group and then using the indent icon in the toolbar to create the group. If you ever need to reorganize, you can repeat the same basic approach by selecting a different set of rows and indenting them to form a new section that covers everything you need to know. And that is all there is to it.